away from Monday night on 7.
And from Colonial Stadium, we head west to Subiaco for our third game this afternoon and highlights from Fremantle and Hawthorn.
3 points in it.
And both sides are ringing the changes. Fletcher's coming off for a break, so is Harford. Bowyer's coming off on for him. And it's really going to be survival of the fittest, literally, in this game. A team that can execute with a bit of poise like Modra did. McManus kicked it to him. It was great play. But just the team that's had the best rotations and the fitter side, I think, will win today.
So the questions now being asked of the Hawks, after they really have had the edge for most of the day. It's back to 3 points. Thompson aggressive at the centre bounce against Longmuir. Pachoni took a long time to release it. Could have been Ping. A little bit indiscriminate there, McManus. He also wasn't penalised. McManus goes again. Down to Modra. One-on-one. He just slipped again behind Graham.
Fantastic judgment by Graham then.
Graham backed himself in. Lekas. McFarlane could be the next option for him here. Takes it well.
It's a good kick.
But Freo pushed back here. Tried to block off the next lead. And that's a good, strong mark by Walker. Stood his ground nicely. Lord and Barker. Barker was advancing down the ground at a fair rate of knots.
The Lord started off well in this game, but we haven't seen much of him in this quarter. Walker's done exceptionally well to cut him out of the game.
Just 2 possessions for Lord in this quarter. Pavlich couldn't hold him with that one. Hay again backed himself. Green just got the ball moving. It was pretty good play in the end. Lekas through the middle. Joel Smith got someone to his left if he needs him. He does. Decides to use him on the outer side. Bowyer waits. And
execution.
Well, yeah, it wasn't good. Carr's been important for them. Grover.
The Fremantle players have got to push on over. There's no one prepared to run for him, and he's just had to bomb it long.
He has. Good running back from Thompson for the Hawks, though. And now they've worked the ball up. This is Green again. So he's done pretty well in his first match, Stephen Green. Another man who's pretty inexperienced, Tim Clark.
And they're the sort of players that Hawthorn should be relying on in these conditions, because they're both very good runners, and these conditions would suit them, both Green and Clark.
Yeah, the spoil on Barker that time was okay. Jones, he knew what was coming. He hurt himself.
He's in trouble, Anthony Jones. He's put his head down there, and he's as tough as they come, and he's got to his feet, which is a great sign.
Has it got him on the head?
The amount of times that's happened this year in AFL footy, I reckon, is staggering. You've just got to be protected if you put your head over the nut.
Yes, well, the controversy's raged, hasn't it, about the charging rule and definitions we should and shouldn't have.
I think there's an obligation on the second player coming in to get low and get down, get their shoulder down if there's a player over the ball.
Gee, that could have been dangerous,
wasn't it, Hutto? Yeah.
Walker emerges with it, so no damage done. They look at each other there. Oh! Talking about hip and shoulders. You meant to do it to the opposition, though, not your teammates. They just looked at each other, and as a result, the collision came. If loose man Green demanding the ball in his first game, Lord took an eternity to give it to him. He was looking for better options, but in the end, it was a fine option, and they've worked the ball into full forward. And here's John Barker. He thought about laying it off.
Ben, would you say if there was going to be 2 players that are going to... Nick Barker, sorry, how do you call this one?
Well, he's gone for the centering pass, and it was a little bit ambitious, but it's okay. McFarlane's taken it.
I was going to say, Ben, if there's 2 players in the Dockers that are going to run into each other, would you say one invariably a lot of times going to be Clive Waterhouse?
What do you say?
Go with that.
Answer the question.
He's been involved in a couple of collisions. I think you're right, matey. But look, I think it's a good sign. It's a pretty tough game. They both want the footy. They both want the footy.
Bit of pressure here on young Luke McFarlane. What pressure, he says. Kicking the goal.
I tell you what, it was a fantastic sign from Green then, demanding the footy, as you called it then, Hutto. If he hadn't have screamed at his teammate, then he wouldn't have been able to just do that little chip pass into attack. It was fantastic play. He was the one that kicked it to Barker. Barker eventually released it, but great sign for a kid in his first game demanding the ball off a senior player.
Well, as you were just speaking, Lee Brown's come off, replaced by Metropolis, so he's back on after being disciplined. Yes,
Metropolis returning to the ground to go on Barlow after Being disciplined for that. 2 goals in a minute for Johnny Barker early on, but that's an important goal for the Hawks. Gives them back just that small lead. Bachoni, we're getting late in the third quarter, so scores here, vital. Dixon could have laid the handball off. I don't think it matters. It's a goal. Metropolis arguing that hit the post. Dixon really should have handballed over the top.
I think Metropolis might be saying that he touched the ball.
Yep.
I think that's what he's sort of saying to the umpire there. He's not too happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, the umpire couldn't call that. There was no obvious deflection there, Maney, and, you know, I'll tell you what, it's a dangerous one, Hutto. You're a half-forward flanker. Your job's to kick goals. Do you handball it over or not?
It was the post, though, I think, that he was arguing about, and I think the replay might have supported him.
Okay.
We might have to have another look at it. So 9-10-64 to 7-7-49.
Just Hawthorn kicking the last 2 goals at the 25-minute mark may hurt the Dockers severely.
Longmuir gets them going forward. Almost the mark, not quite for McFarlane, who's done a couple of nice things. Pachoni's also been involved in the last few minutes. It was an excellent kick. And again, this little side kick out right from Bowyer. Close to the line for Barlow.
Oh, great tackle.
Yeah, good fierce start for the Dockers.
Just fantastic.
And rewarded.
And straight at the hips, didn't he, Shorts Parker?
Shane Parker, take your hat off to you. That was just brilliant, I reckon, because they could have been away. You're smiling because it's your favourite player, isn't it, eh? I'm actually starting to come around on the Shane Parker.
I'll get you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Metropolis was the target. Didn't go into the back of Bowyer. Pachoni, and it's out of bounds.
Just a crucial skill error from Hawthorn. Just allowed Parker into the play a minute ago, but if that ball, there was an easy release to Barlow, and it just didn't hit the target. If the ball had hit him on the chest, he would have been able to just kick it deep into the 50-metre zone.
Longmuir doing the ruck work with Thompson. The Dockers starting to run. We've got some drive out of Hazelby and Black in this quarter. Good work, Wirra just waiting to find a man to lay it off to. Walker back to Wirra. And now Hawthorn have pushed a couple back, but Modra still found space to lead him to. Good positive lead.
You mentioned Black there a moment ago in that sentence, Hutto, and I reckon he's enjoyed coming up from the back pocket.
Car's on, inside 50. Oh, Mods is doing his roots up. He's still on. Oh.
And I reckon Black's just enjoyed having a bit of a run on the ball. He's played very well on the back line so far this year. He's a very talented player, and of course we know how good he is a kick on goal. And speaking of someone who can kick on goal very well, Tony Modra.
Well, needs to use all of that experience that we talked about earlier, and he has. 2 important goals in the third quarter for Modra.
At Bunnings Warehouse, you'll find the lowest prices on everything you need for your Easter projects. 3-piece paintbrush set, $2.80. Motion sensor light, $14.80. 4-litre Soliguard from $49.98. 10mm impact driller load, $29.98. And leaf and lawn rake, just $2.49. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
People travel from all over the world to see the Outback. Fortunately, we have it on our very own doorstep. The Stratco Outback. A veranda, carport, patio and pergola system with exclusive design features and a brilliant high-gloss colour bond finish. The Stratco Outback is unique and affordable, and you need travel no further than Stratco or an authorised dealer.
Snack pack 1, sea chest 2, and treasure chest come and get 3. Yeah, calamari, prawns, and Tim Tams too. From Barnacle Bill, get them free. What's better than Tim Tams? Tim Tams free. Now with any size pack of prawns and calamari. Snack pack 1 or sea chest 2. Get your Tim Tam fingers free. A treasure chest gets 3 of the best. Where you get more for your money, it's gotta be Barnacle Bill.
Looking to refinance your home loan? Then call Great Southern Loan, the oldest securitised home lender in Australia. Does your bank offer you a free redraw facility with a minimum of only $50, free rate fixing, a loan free of all monthly fees, great service, at a rate as good as this? Be converted and call Great Southern Loan to ask about our other free features on 1300 66 5522.
I just love computers. I didn't really want to go to uni. I didn't want to study full time.
I looked into the training that new apprenticeships offered. I realised that Nick was perfect for us.
You'd be amazed where new apprenticeships can take you these days. Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
Dream kitchen, dream bathroom. Buy direct from Direct Interiors. Choose for your kitchen. Choose for your bathroom. Choose from Direct Interiors, 343 North East Road, Hillcrest.
Direct Interiors.
Meet the office bitch with a real bark. She's harassing the staff, giving evil looks, and eating all the office biscuits. Can Harry cure the hound?
I want Bixie to be everybody's friend in the office.
Harry's practice tonight on 7. There. As Popstars takes the globe by storm. We bring you the world's worst wannabes.
You say nothing.
They're either stupid or deaf.
Plus, exclusive, our band's first clip, all on Popstars.
Tonight.
7's football telecast. Proudly brought to you by West End Draft, McDonald's, Mac Your Day, and Mitsubishi Motors.
They can come back in board. They've got two players right in the middle here if they want to take a bit of a risk.
Still look a bit exhausted, don't they, the Hawks?
And he has. He's made the decision to come back into Smith.
9 minutes of play remaining.
Still not the time to really be slowing the game up, is it? Or, you know, we're just sort of trying to hold the ball in the back line. And this is what Hawthorn do. They love just chipping around in their back line.
It's amazing just the lack of run. I know it's, again, it's
pretty
trying,
intense,
but it's one-on-one without any movement around the ground.
And you can see a big contest of players. No mark paid. And Walker takes it out.
So I thought Redden had a fair amount of purchase on that footy then. Dion Woods getting a few instructions. He's one player that hasn't been used that much today by Drum, and he can run around. He's a very, very good endurance athlete.
Bandy got a little shove. Hazelby got the handball out. Got it to 50. Cruel bounce for Waterhouse. Well done, Pavlich. Waterhouse just banging it forward. Modra, Graham right with him. No free kick. Again, the crowd wanted one. McManus late on the scene. Still it's loose. The 2 7s, McCabe and Black. And Rawlings kept his head. Tallis emerging, has Smith to the left. He knew it.
Well done.
Smith has the time now. Does he have someone to kick to? Chick presented. The sun might have been a factor then. Well done, Parker. Black. Carr just slowed the momentum down. Hawks had an extra man across half-back. He's going to come into play. No, he overran it, Harford. Picked up by Pavlich. McManus trying to find some space for himself. Went back a long way, just a bit too far. Even for Waterhouse to think, you would think from here. He's got Bandy. He can kick to Bandy.
Go. He's got to go.
He should go. That's right. Go for home, they say to Daniel Bandy. He unwinds. And unwinds and misses to the left.
It's good work there by Matthew Pavlich, wasn't he? He had a 2-on-1 situation. He was able to beat both the Hawthorn opponents. And Fremantle were able to retain the ball. They were able to move it across the ground from one side to the other. And Daniel Bandy, he should have slotted that one home.
Joel Smith, Rawlings, Leckus. Hawks advancing. Clark. Right down he goes. Barker loves to lead to that pocket. Good spoil from Brown. Barker can keep it alive here. Does that, gain some ground. Crode back on the ground. Didn't have anyone in support. He kept it in magnificently. Oh, well done, Trent Crode. Oh, Dixon couldn't get the handball off.
Gee, Crawford was free, wasn't he? Just if Dixon, I'm sure he tried to give it off then, but Crawford certainly was free. Great play by Crode just to keep the ball alive in the forward line.
And then just very good pressure here by, is it Grover? Right at the end. We didn't quite see it on screen, but just to knock it over the goal line.
Again, the margin at 13, and Fremantle need the next goal.
They're doing all the attacking in this quarter, Hutto. They've been inside their 50 10 times to the Hawks 3. They're just not getting the score on the board.
Almost paid that to Thompson. Doesn't really matter. McCabe, a couple of loose ones across centre half forward. Crawford can handball to Clark. He's inside 50 now. Didn't hesitate. Went for home.
He needed to steady, didn't he?
Yeah, he probably just could have steadied a bit more.
He's kicked that off one step and there was space in front of him. He could have just taken 4 or 5 more steps and just steadied. Maybe Crawford should have got in his ear as Hazelby comes off for a break. Bootsman to come back on, but he's been very, very impressive, Clark.
Fletcher back on the ground, Ben.
And Bootsman's just about ready to come back on, though.
Jones punching it up to the wing. There's Fletcher. McManus, did he interfere? He did.
Geez, you just don't need that at this stage of the game, Sean McManus. I mean, he's played very well. It might be a little bit harsh, but you just can't afford... If you're going to try and take a screamer, you just can't give away a free kick.
Crawford leaves that one for Thompson. He'll go past here, Crawford. Doesn't matter, doesn't use him. Crowd, still a fair way out from goal. Managed just to prop up because he knew that Crawford was coming. Crawford might have a shot from there. He does have a shot. He misses.
Could have been costly then. And just both peppering away in this quarter. Just no one able to really get a kick straight between the big sticks. And with 5.5 minutes to go, 15 points down as Fremantle. There's still plenty of time.
Black thumping it out. Fletcher will have to go. He did. He almost pulled it down. He did pull it down to the ground at least. And now this man, Peter Bell, finds a man, Norwich. Waterhouse, still too far at the score, but he's got potential leads from Pavlich or Modra. Goes longer than that, even right towards full forward. Rawlings has been brilliant all day.
Yes. Wrong kick, I think, Ben.
It's 3-on-1, wasn't it?
It was probably the right area if he had the numbers there, but as you just said, they had 3-on-1. And it was just a little bit too easy. And the Hawks just trying to slow it down here a little bit.
Yeah, McManus off, Wirra on.
Maybe Sean paying a little bit of penalty for that free kick he gave away. A minute ago.
So, Raiden Tallis, who's been pretty consistent for them today.
This is where, if Hawthorn are going to do this, Ben, then Fremantle have got to make sure they stay on their men. They just can't allow Hawthorn to keep chipping around and finding targets.
This is where they've got to break a line, Maney. They've got to run forward. That's better, but they've got to break a line, not go out wide. They've got to get to the forward line as quick as they can. Good pass.
Fletcher's kick was very low, wasn't it? Pavlich just a little bit too hot for him, couldn't handle it. But his second effort, fantastic. Oh, he put his teammate Waterhouse under a fair bit of pressure. Bowyer, the shepherder, allowed it Hay to come in, and he can hit Johnny Barker. Too far out the score. Crode leads into the pocket. He's going to have to hold on to it now until he gets some more players down the ground. Just didn't have enough other options. Well done by Bootsman to put the pressure on Barlow, hold him up.
Barker's just filling the hole for Fremantle, so there's not much space for Crode to run into.
And they've shown the propensity to just work it across 50, but this time goes for the lead of Crode, and well done. There's the space you were talking about. Parker again getting in the road.
Got a free, hasn't he?
I think it was a little bit in the back there.
He has,
I think you'll find.
So Parker's going to switch to Carr.
Good vision. Now that he needs somebody, Pavlich has got to present himself. He's got nowhere else to go. There's just nobody presenting themselves.
He stops Longmuir.
Longmuir, sorry.
Good spoil from McFarlane. And he fights for it well, McFarlane. Couldn't quite get the handball where he wanted it. Now he's got another chance. Advantage will be paid. Harford to try and finish off the Dockers for the day. And he has missed.
Gee, if you add $1 on anyone being able to slot one from running into an open goal, you'd put your money on Harford. He's, I think, been the player that showed the most skill today. Crawford's been pretty good in patches. Harford's certainly set some goals out for Hawks. So it was a poor miss.
So 16 points now the margin. Crowd of just over 20,000 here at Subiaco.
That was a great kick out. Put him right on the line.
Carr finds his man through the middle of the ground.
Ben, Dion Woods is on the ground. We haven't seen too much of him. Is it too late to bring him up and get him into the game?
Well, they need a spark. Why not put him on the ball?
Bootsma goes for Waterhouse. Oh, good reading of the play. The Hawks defence on the whole has stood up pretty well. They've got the numbers here on the wing as well. Good mark. Crawford, he really has led in the last quarter. Decisive leadership. Went for Crode. It wasn't a great kick. He turned it into one. Brilliant play by Crode. Crawford deserves to kick the match winner, and he strolls in and does it, and he is one very happy boy.
Well, I think you'd have to say that's the seal of Ben, and that was just fantastic play by the former Brownlow medalist, Shane Crawford. And I reckon just sometimes in this quarter, Fremantle have made the wrong decisions at the critical time. Just their, I suppose, their execution and also just their decision-making has come unstuck. They've turned the ball over probably 3 times as much as what Hawthorn has done. And in that case, what great work ethic. He's gone from taking it at one spot to receiving it down on the goal, and as Pato said, a very happy man.
Well, Shane Crawford has rediscovered his love for the game of footy by the look of the way he kicked that goal.
One player that hasn't looked affected by the heat, Hutto. His fitness level is unbelievable.
Yep. Down to the last couple of minutes then. Tallis. Green back on the ground. He'll well and truly remember his first game. Had a good role in a couple of early goals. This is Wirra. Doc is sharing it around. Pavlich is the target. Rawlings made the spoil, and it's out of bounds. Well, they've been under pressure down there, haven't they, the Hawthorn defence, and even though the Freo forward line have worked pretty hard, they haven't cracked.
What'll be interesting to find out to see how the Eagles have gone, because if they lose and Hawthorn lose, and they go into the game next week with 3-0, and then after next week one side's going to be 4-0, so not a pretty sight for the West Australian teams.
Oh, the Hawks looking at each other then. Harford, Tallis finds Joel Smith. Plenty of short kicks will be the order you would think from here.
It's amazing the game. I reckon Crawford's clearly been the game breaker. Just his run from defence a couple of times in this last quarter just opened the game up in a game that has been reasonably static, very trying conditions, but static. One player has just taken over and dominated.
Dockers need to man up here. They need to just take a man each.
And I reckon, Ben, too, when a lot of players will be pretty tired out there, to see somebody run as hard as he did, it does break you, doesn't it? You wonder just how somebody can run so hard in these conditions at this stage of the game.
Well, this is unbelievable. It'll be about the 8th uncontested chess mark in a row.
McFarlane.
Here comes another.
Went for Green. No, he went longer. Went for Crawford, who just edges Black out of the contest.
Free kick.
No free kick paid. I guess it's academic now. Lekis. Oh, takes it well. Got Clark at centre half forward. He's going to have a shot, I think, here. Lekis strolls into goal and hits the post. Again, Crawford involved in that. You certainly could question whether it was a free kick or not, but what a last quarter he's played.
Yeah, it's similar to Bradley a couple of weeks ago. When the game was there to be won, the senior player comes up. Bradley did it for Carlton a couple of weeks ago against Fremantle, and Crawford's clearly, he's been outstanding.
Well, Clive's come a long way to try and find probably his last kick for the game in the back pocket.
Brown up onto the wing, Troy Cook.
Been pretty quiet today, I reckon, Cook. It's 2 weeks in a row.
Hazelby, Fletcher, Bootsma, down to Modra. No, it doesn't. Oh, a big leap from Rawlings. Finishes the game in style. Good hard win for Hawthorn here at Subiaco.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed a big afternoon of AFL highlights here on 7. Don't forget tomorrow, Melbourne and Geelong live from the MCG here on 7 at 1:30.
7's football telecast is proudly brought to you by Amy. Lucky if you're with Amy. And Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning.